Hey guys, this is P.M.R.Bonez88, and today for my next superhero movie review that I'll be talking about today is Kick-Ass. Okay, better yet, Kick-Ass, which stars Aaron Johnson, Chloe Moretz, and Nicolas Cage. So when I first heard this movie of Kick-Ass, I thought it was going to be another superhero movie spoof, just like what they did to superhero movie or epic movie or whatever, but other spoof movies. But when I saw the trailer and then when I saw the full movie, it looks more action and there was comedy, of course. And this was based off a graphic novel by Mark Miller and John Romita Jr. So I saw the movie, then I read the graphic novel, and there were some slight differences. Like the graphic novel that I read, there were some couple of scenes that they couldn't use it on the movie because there was too much graphic violence, and plus this movie was rated R, and that really excited me. And seeing with all the action, with all the fighting sequence, including with all the kicking ass, and this movie really did kick ass. So this movie starts out with this one geeky kid named Dave Luzinski. He wanted to know how it feels like to be a superhero. Like dress up as a superhero and go out fighting crime, but throughout, in the superhero like Marvel and DC, with all the comics and movies and TV shows, that they sometimes do fight off supernatural villains, or it was all like fiction, it's make believe. But even if you go in the real world and you try to be a superhero, you're gonna get your ass kicked or get killed a day or probably just a minute. But for this film, this actually tells you of almost like real life events of what happens if you do go out and try to be as a superhero. And that's what Dave Luzinski wants to be. He wanted to be a superhero, and that's where he dressed up as Kick-Ass. So that's where the story starts out, and it had concentrated on Kick-Ass's story, but it also had other stories such as of Hit Girl and Big Daddy. Now Hit Girl, she stole the show. She really kicked ass, and she was like the most popular superhero besides Kick-Ass, and also including with Big Daddy. But there was a little similarity with his role. There wasn't too much dialogue, and he didn't fight too much. There was just only one scene down at the bad guys' lair. That's all he did was just kicking ass and shooting guns. And the costume, however, it did kind of look like a similarity to Batman. There was a little similarity, but like the utility belt looked familiar. Batman's utility belt back in 1989, and Big Daddy's utility belt, you could definitely tell they ripped that off. And also with Christopher, forgot his name, he was from Superbad and the other movies too, and including Kick-Ass 2. Before he was the motherfucker, his superhero name was known as Red Mist. So he was clearly a sidekick, but in the comic books for Red Mist, he was pretending to be a superhero and betrayed Kick-Ass. But in the movies, his character is a little different. He's more a little bit good in him, but he's like almost becoming like his father-son relationship, and also probably just a little more good in him. Like he was a big fan of Kick-Ass and he knew he was innocent. But up to that ending, that's where he goes into, how should I say, being a geek and a nerd, the dark side. And when I heard that they were going to make this movie PG-13, but since they couldn't, due to the graphic novel, the comic of Kick-Ass, it had a lot of gore, a lot of blood and guts, and of course a few swear words. So it hadn't been rated R. So it was great that they made it rated R and instead of PG-13, because if it would have been PG-13, then this movie would have been bummed, like totally bombed. But it did hit, however, the box office, and this movie, however, was really blood and gory. And comparing to the graphic novel of Kick-Ass and the movie itself, they had to change the story a bit, like alternate Big Daddy's death, and what else? Dave and Katie's love relationship, because almost half of this film, she thinks that Dave was gay, but then they finally got together. But in the comics, told her that he wasn't gay, and he was totally straight, and he had a crush on her. But after that, punch right in the face of one of the jocks. But I do like the movie. I really enjoyed this movie. This movie was really kicking ass. And the graphic novel as well too. I like them both in equal. So that's why I like them in equal. So just to rate this movie, I would have to give it a 95 out of 100. This movie really kicked ass, and it was really great, and the action scene was perfect, and even the dialogue was kind of slow to some characters. Didn't really fit to the character as well, including Nicolas Cage being all crazed as always. But it was fantastic, and I do have this movie on Blu-ray and DVD. Next week or the following week, I'll be talking about for my next superhero movie review is RoboCop. And this is P.M.R.Bonez88 signing off and saying is, peace!